Today, we're diving deep into the story of the man who turned professional wrestling into a global phenomenon, the immortal Hulk Hogan. We'll explore his incredible rise, his legendary rivalries, his shocking heel turn, and we'll also pay tribute to the legend, looking at the recent news of his passing. For millions around the world, that wasn't just a catchphrase. What you gonna do, brother, when Hulkamania runs wild on you? Terry Gene Bollea was born on August 11th, 1953, in Augusta, Georgia. Before he was the Hulkster, he was a kid with a dream, playing music in local bands and working out, building that iconic physique. He made his professional wrestling debut in 1977, but it was in the 1980s, under the bright lights of Vince McMahon's World Wrestling Federation, that Hulk Hogan was truly born. With his signature yellow and red gear, his famous 24-inch pythons, and an undeniable charisma, Hogan launched a movement known as Who. He preached to his little Hulkamaniacs to train, say their prayers, and eat their vitamins. He wasn't just a wrestler. It was a real-life superhero. His real American persona resonated with audiences everywhere, and they single-handedly propelled wrestling from smoky arenas into mainstream entertainment. Hogan's list of accomplishments is staggering. He was a 12-time world champion, holding the top title in both WWE and WCW. 6 times each, but his legacy is perhaps best defined by WrestleMania. Hogan headlined 8 of the first 9 WrestleManias, creating moments that are etched in the memories of fans forever. And no WrestleMania moment is bigger than WrestleMania III. Picture this. Over 93,000 fans packed into the Pontiac Silverdome, all there to witness the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object. Hogan, the champion of the people, versus his former friend, the undefeated giant, André the Giant. The tension was electric. For nearly 15 years, André had been billed as undefeated in the WWF. He was the 8th wonder of the world, a colossal figure who had never been pinned or submitted. But on that historic night, March 29th, 1987, Hulk Hogan did the impossible. He lifted the 500-pound giant, slammed him to the mat in what became known as the body slam heard round the world, and followed it up with his signature atomic leg drop to secure the victory. It was more than a match. It was the moment Hulkamania became immortal. To understand the magnitude of that moment, you have to understand André the Giant. Born André René Roussimoff in France. His immense size was due to gigantism. Standing at a build 7 feet 4 inches, he was a true giant among men. Before their epic feud, he and Hogan were actually close allies. André was even there in the ring, pouring champagne on Hogan's head to celebrate his first WWF Championship win in 1984. But in 1987, everything changed. In one of the most shocking segments in wrestling history, on Piper's Pit, André, now aligned with the villainous manager Bobby the Brain Heenan, turned on Hogan. He ripped the shirt and the crucifix from Hogan's chest, challenging him for the championship and breaking the hearts of fans everywhere. Their rivalry wasn't just a storyline. It was the biggest money-making feud in wrestling history. Their rematch on live television in 1988 drew an unbelievable 33 million viewers, a record that still stands today for a wrestling match in American history. Despite their on-screen hatred, Hogan has always said that in real life, he and André were close friends, and that he owed his career to André's willingness to pass the torch. On that fateful night at WrestleMania III, sadly, André the Giant passed away from congestive heart failure in 1993 at the young age of 46. He became the very first inductee into the WWF Hall of Fame, a testament to his incredible impact on the industry. His legacy lives on not just in wrestling, but in pop culture. From his beloved role as Fezzik in The Princess Bride to the iconic Obey Street art campaign, Hogan's career, however, was far from over. He continued to dominate the WWF before making a move that would once again change the entire industry. In 1994, he signed with rival promotion World Championship Wrestling, or WCW. For a couple of years, it was the same old Hulkamania. But by 1996, the character had grown a bit stale. Fans were starting to boo. The industry was changing, and Hogan needed to change with it. And change he did at the Bash at the Beach pay-per-view in 1996. In a moment that is still considered one of the most shocking swerves in wrestling history, Hulk Hogan turned his back on the fans. He revealed himself as the mysterious third man, joining forces with the Outsiders, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, to form the New World Order, or the end of. He traded his red and yellow for black and white, becoming Hollywood Hulk Hogan. He was arrogant, he was cool, and he was a bad guy. This heel turn was a masterstroke. It not only revitalized his career, but made wrestling cool again, sparking the Monday Night Wars and leading WCW to dominate the ratings for 83 straight weeks. The NWO became one of the most popular and influential factions of all time. Hogan's influence wasn't just confined to the ring, he was a true pop culture icon. He appeared alongside Sylvester Stallone as Thunderlips in the 1982 film Rocky III, a role that introduced him to a massive mainstream audience, even before Hulkamania took off. He later starred in his own movies, like Mr. Nanny and Suburban Commando. And in the 2000s, a whole new generation got to know him not as a wrestler, but as a family man on the hit reality show, Hogan Knows Best. The show gave fans a look inside the life of Terry Bollea, the father and husband behind the bandana. For his unparalleled contributions, Hogan was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame not once, but twice. First, as an individual in 2005, and again in 2020 as a member of the legendary and his signature move, the atomic leg drop, might seem simple by today's standards, but when Hogan hulked up, shook the ropes, and dropped that leg, arenas would explode. It was pure sports entertainment magic. Sadly, the final chapter of this incredible life story has now been written. On July 24th, 2025, Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, passed away at the age of 71 at his home in Clearwater, Florida. The cause of death was an acute myocardial infarction, or a heart attack. It was reported that he had also been battling chronic health issues, including chronic lymphocytic leukemia and atrial fibrillation. The news sent shockwaves through the wrestling world and beyond. Tributes poured in from friends, rivals, and the millions of fans whose lives he touched. He was remembered as a pioneer, an icon, and a real-life superhero whose charisma and larger-than-life personality redefined an entire industry. From the body slam heard round the world to the black and white of the NWO, Hulk Hogan created moments that will live on forever. He wasn't just a wrestler. He was a cultural touchstone. He made us believe in the power of a single man to overcome impossible odds. He showed us that it was okay to be a real American, to stand up for what you believe in, and to always believe in yourself. The world of entertainment will never see another like him. His legacy is immortal. Brother, thank you for everything, Hulkster. What are your favorite Hulk Hogan memories? Was it his epic clash with André the Giant, his battles with Randy Savage, or his shocking heel turn to form the end? Let us know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this look back at a true legend, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching. Hulk Hogan, a name synonymous with professional wrestling, was an American icon and media personality whose charisma and persona made him arguably the most recognized wrestling star in history. For decades, he was a real-life superhero to millions, a pop culture titan who transformed the landscape of sports entertainment forever. Born Terry Gene Bollea on August 11th, 1953. In Augusta, Georgia, the man who would become Hulk Hogan began his journey far from the roar of sold-out arenas. After showing early promise as a musician and a brief stint in college, Bollea was discovered by wrestling promoter Jack Briscoe and began training under the legendary Hiro Matsuda. He made his professional debut in 1977, honing his craft in various regional territories. However, it was his arrival in the World Wrestling Federation, or WWF, in the early 1980s that would ignite a global phenomenon. Under the guidance of promoter Vince McMahon, Bollea was transformed into the ultimate American hero. Hulk Hogan, clad in a signature yellow and red, Hogan preached a doctrine of training, saying prayers, and eating vitamins. This moment, known as Hulkamania, captured the imagination of a generation, with his real American theme music blaring. Hogan's electrifying presence helped catapult professional wrestling from Smoky Bingo holes into a mainstream entertainment powerhouse. He was more than a wrestler. He was a cultural force, a symbol of unyielding strength and patriotism during a pivotal era in American history. Hogan's list of accomplishments is a testament to his unparalleled dominance in the squared circle. He was a 12-time world champion, holding the prestigious WWF WWE Championship 6 times, and the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, an additional 6 times. His first WWF title win in 1984 is often cited as the official birth of Hulkamania. For the next decade, he was the face of the industry, creating a legacy at WrestleMania. The grand spectacle he helped build, Hogan headlined 8 of the first 9 WrestleMania events, an unprecedented feat that solidified his status as the industry's biggest draw. His most iconic WrestleMania moment, and perhaps the single most important moment in wrestling history, occurred at WrestleMania III. In front of a record-setting crowd of over 93,000 fans at the Pontiac Silverdome, Hogan faced his former friend, the seemingly unbeatable André the Giant. The climax of the match saw Hogan lift the 500-pound behemoth for a body slam that was heard around the world, a feat of strength that cemented his legend and defined an entire era. As the 1990s progressed, the wrestling landscape began to shift. In a move that sent shockwaves through the industry, Hogan did the unthinkable. In 1996, he joined rival promotion World Championship Wrestling, or WCW, and turned his back on the fans who had adored him for over a decade. Shedding his heroic red and yellow, he emerged as the villainous Hollywood Hulk Hogan, clad in black and white. Alongside Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, he formed the New World Order, or NWO, a rebellious faction that revolutionized wrestling, storytelling, and revitalized his career. This heel turn was a masterstroke, proving that Hogan could be just as compelling as a hero's nemesis as he was its champion. Beyond the ring, Hogan's star power transcended wrestling. He became a fixture in mainstream pop culture, making a memorable appearance as the formidable Thunderlips in the 1982 film Rocky III. He went on to star in a series of family-friendly movies, including Mr. Nanny and Suburban Commando, endearing himself to a new audience. In the 2000s, he opened the doors to his home for the hit reality television series Hogan Knows Best, which followed the lives of his family and introduced him to a new generation of fans who may not have witnessed his in-ring prime. Tragically, the immortal Hulk Hogan passed away on July 24, 2025. At the age of 71, he died peacefully at his home in Clearwater, Florida. His death was attributed to an acute myocardial infarction, more commonly known as a heart attack. It was later revealed that, in the years leading up to his passing, Hogan had been privately battling several serious health issues, including chronic lymphocytic leukemia and atrial fibrillation, an irregular heart rhythm known as AFib. The news of his passing sent a wave of sorrow across the globe, as fans and peers alike mourned the loss of a true giant. In the wake of his death, tributes poured in from every corner of the wrestling community and beyond. He was remembered not just as a champion, but as a real-life superhero whose unparalleled charisma and connection with the audience redefined what a sports entertainer could be. His peers lauded his business acumen and his revolutionary impact on the industry, acknowledging that without Hulk Hogan, modern professional wrestling would not exist as we know it. He was a pioneer, a trailblazer, and an enduring icon whose influence will be felt for generations to come. Here are some quick facts about the legendary superstar. His real name was Terry Gene Bollea. He stood at an imposing height of 6 feet 7 inches, a larger-than-life figure both in and out of the ring. His signature finishing move, the atomic leg drop, was one of the most famous and effective maneuvers in wrestling history, felling countless opponents on his way to victory. In recognition of his monumental contributions, he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame not once, but twice. First, as an individual in 2005 for his legendary Hulkamania run, and again in 2020 as a member of the revolutionary New World Order. Curious about Hulk Hogan's most epic match? Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the adrenaline-fueled moments that made him a wrestling legend. Plus, let's dive into his awesome movie and TV roles. Who remembers his classic appearances in shows like Thunder in Paradise? And what about his last public appearances? It's a real trip down memory lane. Thanks a ton for watching, everyone. If you loved this video, make sure to hit that like button and share it with your friends.